what do you think about staying up to date with market trends? We hear all the time about being the knowledge broker.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe...
Well, we do, but not everybody might, now that
true.
you mentioned that.
That's true. If you're in the Tom Ferry ecosystem or you've heard about Tom Ferry, he talks exclusively at depth about being the knowledge broker. Mm-hmm. If you're part of KCM, Keeping Current Matters, David talks a lot about being the knowledge broker.
Yep.
So what is it? Like, what is a knowledge broker, and how do we stay up to date with trends while pushing that back to the client as being the knowledge broker?
To put some perspective in place here, as an agent, you live a normal human life, right? If you need heart surgery, when you're interviewing your heart surgeons, are you going to hire the one that hasn't studied the best practices since 40 years ago?
I'm not.
It wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be that wouldn't be me on that operating table. You're probably going to look at your 5 to 10 different options in your area, maybe an option a few cities over. It's your heart after all.
Yeah.
And you're going to interview each one of them and say, how up to date are you on what the best way to work on my heart condition is? And they're going to let you know, I'm up to date up to the second, and I've got the next 3 years projected of what's coming down the pike. I've done this a bajillion times, and I'm really good at what I do. They're professional. The cost is exactly what you would have expected, if not maybe a slight premium for good work.
Yeah.
And that's who you're hiring, right?
Yeah.
So,
a professional.
A professional that knows what they're talking about. Take that and apply it to someone's largest asset.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same conversation. If you're sitting down with 5 different real estate agents, because in our area, everybody knows at least 12 of them, right? Yeah. There's at least 12 different real estate agents. If you're sitting down with them.
I mean, both our parents are
literally.
Your stepmom's an agent. Yeah. My mom's an agent. So
exactly.
Yeah, everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows an agent. And if not, they're going to Google it real quick and it's going to be a long list, right?
Right.
So if they're sitting down with you and they ask you, how well do you know how to sell my home? And you're like, oh, I know how to sell it very well. And they're like, okay, what is the most up-to-date way to get my home sold for top dollar? And you're like, oh, well, we put it in the magazine and then we ship it to you. And they're like, do you know what year it is?
Yeah.
Would you hire that agent? So now let's kind of bring it back in and dial it in. So even more focused than that, you need to be the agent that can help the buyer or seller understand their current position in the marketplace based on your knowledge of the entire market climate. So staying up to date on trends to advise them in the way that they're going to be able to best accomplish their goal, and also so that you know what the heck you're talking about to help them along in the process is extremely important. And the only way that you can keep up with all of that is if you prioritize the time to do it.
Yeah.
And you
so
have
what does
the
that look
support
like?
around you in the ecosystem. You need support in the right ecosystem to keep you involved with the actual truth of the market.
Okay.
In order to stay up to date on it, because you can follow whatever you want on the internet. It's not always accurate. So following the right information is key too.
And I would say that a lot of that is that can be your retroactive prospecting. Like, it's one thing to know the market, to know the trends, to know what happened last year and the year before and with projections for this year, next year. But if you don't share that, then
right.
it's useful knowledge that you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, only you know it.
Yeah.
So what
so
good is that
use that as your retroactive prospecting. Like, if you're an agent and you look at your social, like, yes, I want to see a healthy balance of family and personal and business, but quickly, can I differentiate you as an expert in the real estate industry?
Exactly.
Because the biggest compliment that I think you can receive when meeting with a client for the first time is for them to say, I feel like they just get me and know me, and I feel like I know them, like they're super knowledgeable, and like I already knew we were going to be a good fit before we worked. Like I've heard that before. You've heard that before. We've heard it from other agents on our team before. And that's sharing our knowledge of the market before we ever meet with somebody.
Yeah.
So that they see us as someone who has knowledge.
Yeah.